All right, folks, let's talk about something real for a sec. Imagine you're grabbing a burger at your favorite spot. Just another day, except it's not. Something wild's about to go down, and you're along for the ride. This is a story about a big shot CEO going undercover, a jerk of a manager getting what's coming, and a quiet kid who's tougher than anyone knows. You're gonna get hit with some serious drama. Think yelling, tears, and a jaw-dropping twist that'll make you go, no way. I won't spill it all yet. But trust me, by the end, you'll be mad, you'll be moved, and you'll be dying to say what you do in the mess. It's not some boring lecture. It's a gut punch of a tale that feels like it could happen next door. Curious what happens when the top dog steps into the chaos he didn't even know he owned. Hang on, because we're jumping in. David Carter wasn't your average guy. He was the big boss, the CEO of a massive restaurant chain with over 500 spots scattered across the country like confetti. From his fancy office with a killer view, he'd turned a small idea into a goldmine. The cash was rolling in, the spreadsheets looked pretty, but something bugged him lately. What was life really like out there in his restaurants? The ones he'd never actually stepped foot in? Were his people happy? Were they proud? Or was it all just numbers hiding a mess he couldn't see? He had to know. So that morning, he ditched the slick suit, threw on an old jacket, and tugged a ratty baseball cap over his eyes. No one would clock him. Not the cashiers, not the fry cooks, not even his own execs. He was invisible, just some random dude, heading straight into the belly of his own beast. His target? One of his busiest city joints. A place always packed, always humming, but one he'd never checked out himself. He wasn't there for the food. He was there to dig up the truth. And man, did he find it. Stepping through those glass doors, he felt it right away. Something was off. Not the usual hustle and bustle vibe you'd expect, but a heavy, sour tension hanging in the air like stale grease. The staff scurried around like they were walking on eggshells, their eyes darting, their shoulders stiff. Customers in line grumbled, tapping their feet as orders trickled out way too slow. Limp fries, half-warm burgers, drinks missing straws. It was a mess, sure, but that wasn't what got under David's skin. It was the mood, like the whole place was holding its breath, waiting for a bomb to drop. He slid into the line, blending in, scanning every corner. The kitchen clattered with frantic noise. The register beeped endlessly, but there was this undercurrent, this dark hum he couldn't shake. What the hell was going on here? Then boom! A voice cut through the chaos like a chainsaw. What are you even good for, huh? Heads whipped around. Behind the counter, a guy with a manager's badge pinned crooked on his shirt towered over a young woman. Maybe 19, 20 tops, her apron wrinkled and her hands shaking. His face was red, veins popping, eyes blazing like he was about to spit fire. She cowered, shrinking smaller with every word he threw at her. You can't even slap a burger together right? You're making me look bad in front of my customers. Her fingers fumbled with a tray, trying to stack a meal while he loomed over her, practically breathing down her neck. A tear welled up, hovering on her lashes. She blinked hard, fighting it, her lip trembling as she bit down to keep quiet. But this guy? He was on a roll, and he wasn't stopping. You call that work? Show some damn respect for this job. You want to stay here? You better shape up now. The whole place went still. Customers shuffled, glancing at each other. Should they say something? Step in? But no one moved. The girl, her hands shaking worse now, slid a burger onto the tray, her breath hitching as she tried to keep it together. The manager glared at it like it personally insulted him. Then, with a snarl, he grabbed the tray and smashed it to the floor. The crash rang out. Fries flew everywhere. The bun bounced and rolled. The soda cup split open, pooling dark liquid across the tiles. She froze, staring at the mess, her shoulders trembling. No one said a word. The silence was deafening, heavy with fear and shock. David's hands balled into fists under the table where he'd slid to watch. His heart pounded, anger sizzling through him like a live wire. This wasn't just bad management, this was a power trip, a guy crushing someone for kicks. But he held it in, jaw tight. He wasn't blowing his cover yet. He needed the full picture. How? Bad did it get? So he got up, joined the line, and kept his eyes peeled. The manager kept prowling, snapping at the cooks, barking at the staff, his voice a constant growl. The girl scrambled to clean up the spilled tray, her hands shaking as She swept fries into a pile, glancing nervously like she expected another blow. When David hit the front of the line, the manager barely looked at him, just sneered. "What do you want? Spit it out. Make it fast. These morons have me drowning here." David kept his cool, voice low. Burger menu, medium. Calm, steady. But inside, he was raging, every muscle coiled tight. The manager spun around, yelling the order to the kitchen like a drill sergeant. "Medium burger, move it! Stop screwing around back there!" And threw in an extra jab at the girl, who flinched like she'd been slapped. David grabbed his bag and found a seat, unwrapping his food but barely touching it. He watched. The manager strutted around, chest puffed out, tossing insults like grenades. "Faster, you lazy idiots! You call that clean?" The girl kept her head down, moving quick but careful, wiping her face with her sleeve when she thought no one saw. The air buzzed with dread. Everyone scared of him, scared of messing up, scared of the next explosion. David's mind raced. This is my company. This is what my people live with. Fear instead of pride. He couldn't sit still anymore. The heat in his chest was too much. He had to act. He stood, ditched his half-eaten burger, and marched right up to the counter. The manager was mid-rant, yelling at a cook about burnt buns when David cut in. "We need to talk." His voice was sharp, slicing through the noise. The manager wheeled around, eyes narrowing, lip curling. "Who the hell are you, huh? Some tough guy want to play boss around here?" David took a slow breath, steadying himself. He met the guy's glare head-on, unblinking, and dropped the bomb. "My name's David Carter. I'm the CEO of this whole damn company, all 500-plus locations, including this one." Time stopped. The manager's face went ghost white, his mouth flapping open like he'd been sucker punched. Gasps bounced around the staff, whispers from the cooks, wide eyes from the cashiers. Customers leaned in, murmuring. The girl at the counter froze, her tear-streaked face lifting, staring at David like he'd just walked out of a dream. He didn't waver. His voice rose hard and clear, cutting through the stunned silence. "Is this how you run my restaurant? Screaming at my people? Breaking them down in front of everyone? Throwing their work on the floor like garbage? You call that leadership?" The manager stumbled over words, sweat beading on his forehead. I was just trying to keep things... Enough! David's shout shut him down cold. "You're finished. As of right now, you're out. Fired. Pack up and go." The room held its breath. The manager blinked, dazed, his whole world crumbling in front of everyone. But David wasn't done. He turned to the girl, his voice softening, his eyes locking on hers with a warmth she hadn't felt all day. I saw what you went through today. You kept going, kept fighting, even with him tearing you apart. That takes guts. You're stronger than he'll ever be. You don't deserve this crap. You deserve better, and I'm making damn sure you get it, starting today." Her knees wobbled. She clapped a hand over her mouth as sobs broke loose. Not the broken kind from before, but big, messy tears of relief, of shock, of something like joy. The place buzzed. Murmurs turned to claps. A few cheers broke out. The vibe flipped. Fear melted into something alive, something hopeful. That day wasn't just about one guy getting canned. A bully got knocked down, sure, but it was bigger than that. David walked out of there with a fire in his gut and a truth in his head. Real leadership isn't barking orders or flexing power. It's about the people sweating it out every day. It's about giving them a reason to stand tall, not shrink. In that one move, he didn't just lift her up. He started rewriting what his whole company could be. So here's the big one. The question that's going to stick with you after I shut up. If you were there, watching that manager rip her apart, hearing her choke back tears, what would you do? Stay quiet, keep your head down, blend into the crowd, or step up, speak out, and fight for what's right? I want to know. Drop your answer in the comments. Show me what you've got. Because this story, it's not done until you weigh in.